and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week, we are taking a break from all the death, violence, and drama on Veronica Mars, and we're watching a much gentler kind of investigation, the movie On the Rocks on Apple TV. Yes. But first, Dancing with the Stars. We thought it was going to be double elimination night, but it kind of was, and it kind of wasn't. Two couples were in fact eliminated, but one was a withdrawal by Jeannie, which was too bad. She had to have emergency throat surgery, and she had to drop out. So that was too bad.
Yeah,
I enjoyed her.
She was doing really good, and a lot of people I see writing about Dancing with the Stars, on social media, really liked her. She was one of the favorites, I think.
Yeah,
bummer for her. In many ways. I mean, I'm sure the health crisis even more so than the dancing show, but
she was a lot of fun.
Yes,
so we will miss her.
Definitely. We will miss her, and, it's a scary thing, but the 5-minute tribute seemed like a lot.
It did seem like a lot, and Tyra, choking up, unable to speak at the end of it.
She did survive the surgery,
still
right?
alive.
You guys trying to tell us here. It just, I would just think that all the people who got eliminated and didn't even get a chance to say goodbye, and somebody who drops out gets a segment on why she dropped out and then a compilation. I guess
it's just making up for all the time that she would have had.
It was the amount of time her dance would have taken, I guess. And so for that practical reason, I can see it. But
it did feel like kind of a thumb in the eye of people who leave the usual way.
Yes, that's right. And also, I think about Monica and Val from last week who got eliminated and Jeannie stayed. And then, no. But you would think, could they come back? But then it's a double elimination anyway, so.
And this just happened.
Yes, right.
The Sunday night, so it would Monica and Val wouldn't have been prepared.
Correct. Yeah, and they would never do that anyway. But it just seems like, that must sting a little bit.
Yes.
When the person that you got eliminated in favor of immediately withdraws. It's happened a few times, as I can recall, under similar circumstances. So, but I am sorry to see them go, and certainly she was a exciting and fun part of the show, but it did seem to go on for a bit.
Yes. And of the two, so skipping ahead to the actual it was between Crishell and Sky, and honestly, I think Sky is adorable, but I'm ready for her to go just because I don't want to see her struggle.
Yeah. I'm kind of torn because I don't care for Crishell that much either. So I was ready for her to go anytime.
Ready for her to go as well.
But it sure does seem to me that she's been doing better than Sky. Mm-hmm. So Crishell had her game face on. She was very happy. She was very gracious. And I don't expect Sky, honestly, will stay that much longer. And I feel terrible saying that because she's a sweet young thing.
Exactly. But, it's like a mercy elimination at this time.
My daughter is still very excited that she's there and was very upset that she was in the bottom too. So, everybody has their own faves. Speaking of game faces and lack thereof, Daniela has to coach Nellie on not looking ticked. He had like a black cloud over his head from the point where they gave him the scores the first time. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun when he looks like he's having fun. It's so much more fun to watch him. I really like watching him when he seems to be really in it, and he just looked ticked. Mm-hmm. Or like, this isn't fun anymore. I don't want to do it. Or I don't know what that look was. But, I think he dances pretty good. And I think she's doing a terrific job with him. And I think he's doing way better than I ever expected. But that's something she's got to coach. That people are not going to vote for you if you look like you wish you were gone.
Yes.
So.
But people apparently are voting for him because he had the lowest score from the judges. But he was not in the bottom two. So
I'm voting for him. I'm one of those people. Mm-hmm. I enjoy him and I enjoy Daniela. She's adorable.
And I liked his gold shoes. I always look at his shoes every week. Ever since they started making such a big deal out of his shoes. I check them out every time.
Yeah. So my nomination for most awkward dance move of the evening is, what was that Gleb was doing, pushing Crishell on the floor? She was like prone on the floor and he was like pushing her across the... Do you know the move I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. It looked incredibly awkward and uncomfortable and weird.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a thing that you do in dancing? What is that called, Gleb? Is there like a dirty spot on the floor and you thought, well, her dress is kind of flowy. Maybe we can just...
Let me just shine this up.
She's like laying there stiffly as he just pushes her feet across... I don't know. Yeah. I did not care for that. And it was reminding me how trashy Gleb's dances always used to be. He's been getting better, but the bedroom one today was a little much. I was happy there was no shower.
Yeah. We've already had 2 showers this season.
That's
we don't
true.
need any more. And both
the
of
people
them
who have to clean up the stage afterwards are going, no more, no.
Right. There could be germs in those
That's
droplets.
right. We got a pandemic going on here.
Don't expose them, please. The staff.
They did water the first time. The second time they had petals or something. Next time, we're just not going to do it at all.
Yes.
That was weird.
Would be the way to go.
And, I suppose at some point we're going to have to stop picking on Tyra. But we have not reached that point yet. Because that dress she came out at the beginning looked to me like one of those decorative things you put over toilet paper rolls. Or like your grandma put over toilet paper rolls. And then the slimmer look she had afterwards when she lost like 5 pounds in netting.
Yes.
Looked like a highlighter.
Yeah. The color was quite something.
She's supposed to be like a fashion maven, right?
Yeah. And I think that's why it's always so extreme,
Yeah.
And that means that some of the time you're going to really hate it. And most of the time in my case.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that I didn't, but I certainly, as I sit here in my flannel shirt and sweatpants, so clearly not so much with the fashion for me. So she may be actually on point. I don't know, but to me she looks ridiculous. And, why is she there? But were there any dances that particularly stood out to you? I thought it was very sweet, Justina talking about seeing West Side Story and Rita Moreno, and then going to Rick, and now she's on a show with her, and then they got to that part. That was very sweet, and I thought she danced very well both times.
Yeah, I liked her samba quite a bit, and what else? And I thought Neve and Jenna, Neve did a nice job with both his Viennese and then on the cha-cha. Mean, he definitely looks like he knows what he's doing. He's not being just led around by his pro.
Right. He is very good, and I like him, and I would be just fine with him winning the trophy, except I do not want Jenna to have 2. So I'm conflicted. There's a lot of people who haven't gotten one yet.
The other one she has, isn't it kind of with an asterisk?
It's like a half. There's an asterisk, yes. It's from that tiny half season, but still.
Half season.
It wasn't even a half season. What was it, like 4 weeks or something?
It was very short.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. Not as ridiculous as Tyra's outfit, but pretty ridiculous. I also could be perfectly happy to see Caitlin go anytime now.
Yeah.
Glad to have Artem back. Good to see you, man. Go back to your baby.
Yeah, I mean, the whole it was so hard getting judges' criticism last week. Like, really, first of all, that's why you're here, and you still got a really high score. So
yes, she hasn't gotten that much in the way of criticism. She has no call to be, to get all Nelly about it. Yeah, I thought they were setting her up for getting really high scores, but she's okay. She's fine. She's not spectacular.
Right.
And I just have no interest in her whatsoever. But obviously other people do. I mean, The Bachelor, I don't get.
In the same way that you would prefer that Jenna not get a second mirror ball.
Yeah.
We already have a Bachelorette who won.
Exactly. Yes. A Bachelorette won last time.
Right. Like,
so. Yes. So no.
So we do not need a second.
Please.
2 in a row Bachelorette winners.
Right.
No, thank you.
Definitely. I think she needs to not win and thusly can go home anytime as far as I'm concerned. Right. But I'm sure there's people who like her and,
They can like her, but they should just avoid voting.
Yeah. I enjoy AJ still, even though he's not particularly great. Mm-hmm. But he's trying so hard. I enjoy that. Yes. I enjoy that. Of all the boy band people you could get, he's like the least slickly boy bandy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe because, as he talked about tonight, he's had these hard times in his life.
I'm sure some others.
Season is weird. They seem to keep breaking these stories out at various different times instead of grouping them by theme.
Uh-huh.
We didn't really have a most memorable year or my most traumatic experience. They've just been sort of spreading them out.
True.
So in any one week, somebody can be telling a happy story and somebody can be telling a sad story. And it just makes them seem more, geez, we got to get some more points this week. What can we do?
Right. Need some cute kid footage. Get on it. Let's see Neve plunge himself into a cold bath in his garage. That was random. Okay. Well, next week, I don't think it'll be personal stories because it's Icons Week. So that's the theme. This is not something they've done before, is it?
I think they might have done it before.
They might have? Okay.
Yeah, I think they did it at least once, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it doesn't sound particularly promising.
But we will see what happens.
Yes, we will.
Week.
Yes. Are you still voting for, too many people?
I got it down to 2 right now. But then afterwards, I regretted that I didn't vote for Nellie.
So you're voting for Justina and Neve?
Justina and Johnny.
Johnny.
I gotta support my figure skater.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna go all the way.
No.
Could be wrong. But yeah, I'm voting for Justina and Neve and Nellie and AJ. And I can't whittle it down. So, I mean, the first 2 I think are much better than the second 2, but the second 2 I just enjoy.
Right.
So.
And that is your prerogative to vote for them, even if,
I'm diluting the
Bobby
pool.
Bones rule of
That's
vote
right.
for the person you like. Doesn't matter.
Yes. See where it goes from here.
So, switching over to our old pal, Rashida Jones.
Yes.
And our old pal, Bill Murray, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. And is Sofia Coppola our old pal? I enjoyed Lost in Translation quite a lot, though I don't think I've seen anything else from her other than that Bill Murray Christmas special. Yes. She directed that, which also had Rashida Jones in it.
There you go.
It's One Big Happy Family.
Yeah. So the movie was about a potentially unhappy family.
But just mildly unhappy.
Yeah. I mean, Rashida Jones is playing this mom in the Soho, it looked like, in New York City with these 2 incredibly adorable little girls.
Yes.
And her husband has some kind of vague startup business.
Yes.
And he seems like a good guy, good dad, whatever, but she begins to be concerned that he might be having an affair. So she turns to her dad, Bill Murray, who happens to be an affair haver himself.
An expert.
And it's supposed to be hijinks ensue as they try to figure this out, but it's really pretty melancholy, I thought.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I enjoyed it, and because I like those performers. I did have a little trouble with the sort of stereotypical, like, mom enforces the rules and dad and grandpa are the fun people.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to see, there was a little bit of this, but I guess I wanted to see more of Laura, the Rashida Jones character, like, just having fun with her kids instead of having to be the, like, time to go, brush your teeth, don't give them milkshakes before dinner, like, blah, blah, blah.
Well, maybe it's that way because it's real.
It is real, and that's sort of why, yeah, it's just like, it's so real that I wanted something different. I guess I didn't want it to have to be that way.
Yeah. Don't we all?
So.
Well, in the end, with all the red herrings dispensed with, it was a beautifully shot, cleverly written, engagingly acted 90-minute movie on how to overcome writer's block.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, Catherine, but I am there for it. Next time I have a project I just can't seem to move forward with, I want Bill Murray to pull up in front of my house in a fancy car and take me for a drink or for an adventure until I realize how much I value my boring life.
Right.
And then drop me back off at home so the words can start flowing out. That's my fantasy now. I enjoyed watching that movie, and I said, yes, that's how it should be. I could relate to looking at the computer and thinking,
in the blank page, yes.
Nothing is happening.
And then taking out your label maker, making some folders.
Yes. I was thinking, why haven't I ever thought of that? I could do that. I think I even have a label maker in my drawer. I'm going to have to get it out. It's one of those old punch ones where, kunk, it presses the letters on the tape, but still, that could be fun. I could do that. I don't think you can watch this and not think of the fact that this New York City no longer exists. I mean, maybe for now, maybe for forever, but, all the driving around and going places and talking to people in hallways and bringing your children to things and your husband being away on business trip, it's like a relic,
Yeah.
This is not an old movie, but it feels like one.
Yeah.
If they had to make this now, her problem would be that her husband never leaves the house and her kids are always underfoot and she's running from room to supervise their online learning. And maybe she hears her husband having an inappropriate Zoom conversation, but she can't quite tell. And she can only FaceTime with her dad because he will not wear a mask and just keeps telling stories about how important it is to see a woman's lips. And in the end, she realizes this is her life forever and she's never going to leave the house or go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah.
The end.
It definitely made me miss New York for the way it once was. Although there was a lot of, pulling right up to the building without having to double park.
Oh my goodness, yes. How did they always find a parking space? This is so unrealistic. This would never happen. Yeah. A lot of the movie's charm has to rest on how much one enjoys Bill Murray's shtick, and I enjoy it very much. You just put him on just free associating and talking for 90 minutes, and I would probably watch that. Rashida Jones's job is mostly just to give great reaction shot, and I think she did beautifully. She has a wide range of sad, happy, bored, eye-rolly faces, and she executed them well. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed it. I wonder if it would... I mean, it's very slight. It's extremely slight, and I do not hold that against it. But I wonder if it would seem more significant if you were watching it in a movie theater, or if it would seem more slight if you were watching it in a theater.
Yeah.
Maybe we make more allowances for something we're watching on our TV, or in my case, on my laptop. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, that this is not necessarily the kind of movie that you do see in a theater.
Right.
It seems like these days, when we could go to the movies, which we can't. But it already had become that a movie theater is for, like, something that you have to see on the big screen.
Right.
I mean, as much as it would be beautiful to see Manhattan on a big screen like this, it's not like they're in space or something.
Yeah, for the length of it and for the subject matter, it really is perfect for Apple TV and watching on your home TV screen or your phone or your laptop. That's just perfect. And I also want to mention, that I wasn't the biggest Jenny Slate fan on Parks and Rec. A little bit of Mona Lisa went a long way, and the longer the show was on, the more they leaned on her. Mm-hmm. But the deployment of Jenny Slate in this movie was absolutely perfect. Yes. The running joke of her constantly talking about herself in this obviously doomed romance, that was a fun recurring gag. I enjoyed that.
Yes, she was.
And
good.
If they had to do the coronavirus version, they'd have been having a nightly Zoom call with wine to hear wine.
And Rashida Jones would just be sitting there like, how soon can I hang up on this person?
Oops, the Wi-Fi is going out. I'm sorry.
Oh, so sorry.
Oh, well, it was an enjoyable thing and a nice palate cleanser after all the high drama of Veronica Mars.
That's right.
And in the end, there was really nothing happening at all.
Yes. No, not to spoil it, but it all works out.
Yes.
But quite enjoyable way to spend some time.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So next week, we are going to double down on the dancing.
Yes.
And we are going to try we believe, British series about child ballroom dancers that is on Netflix. It's called Baby Ballroom. And we're thinking this is not so much a competition as this is what it's like in this world kind of show. So we're going to check that out. If you would like to join us, it's on Netflix called Baby Ballroom. And then over on Dancing with the Stars, it is Icons Night.
Ooh.
Fancy. So that is going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.